Once I gave myself to Christ, that's when I was really getting heavily spiritually attacked. And my eyes were open. We're in a spiritual war and the demons are real. And I need to know what they are and where they come from, because that's just the type of guy I am, So that's why I when I researched the Nephilim, they explained it very quickly. And it saved my life in many ways. But, I had some experiences after being born again. I went to the DMT realm in a flashback. I was sober for a year by this point, so I wasn't doing drugs, but I went back to the DMT realm randomly and saw a giant jester for the first time. And it was this black and white striped, big, wide-lipped, purple-lipped, big, huge glowing eyes looking down at me. It was a giant, I was looking up at it, and it had these huge horn-like protrusions coming from its skull, like a jester's cap, but its physiology was this shape. It wasn't wearing a jester's costume. Its skin was that color. You know what I mean? It was a sight to behold. It shocked me a lot. I didn't know what to do with that at the time, because I came back to reality, and with this vision in my mind, I'm like, I don't know what that was. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. That was just, I understood about the DMT realm with the jesters by this point. So I was like, I've seen one for the first time. So I know the real now. They aren't there. And I was getting visitations from the Hat Man. I was getting sleep paralysis, strangulation, things like this, wrenching myself awake, screaming every other night, And I had another moment where I went paralyzed I was dog sitting at the time at my parents' house, and I went paralyzed on the sofa, collapsed, and darkness started to just seep in from the corners of my eyes. The room was crunching away into like a spiraled portal in front of me, and I was dying. It felt like I was dying. It felt like my soul was being torn from my body, and that was the end of me. Maybe I was having a brain aneurysm or something. I don't know what was going on, but it was bad. It was a bad moment, and all I could think to do was say, "Jesus, help me," as quietly and as croaky as I possibly could in my paralyzed state, and instantly stopped like that. I was back in the room, covered in sweat. I got up. I was like bile coming out. It was horrible. It was a bad time. You know what I mean? It was like a wrenching moment, but I lived. I survived, and I knew that was for me like the final hin in the understanding of the power of Christ and His name, and the use it is when it comes to spiritual warfare and demonic attacks.